All right, so basically we're just going to do just two examples, really. So let's see what we have. I got to do a little bit of drawing here first. This kind of looks like, let's stop the talking, please, because you should be taking notes on this. All right, so, oops, forgot to change this. Why'd I always forget that? There we go. All right, so we got that. Copy, paste, there we go. And then, kind of looks like a house, doesn't it? Then this goes up like this. I'll copy and paste that. And let's see, what can I do? Transform. Let's do this. 180. Nope, it's not what I wanted. Oh well, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm so worried about making this look perfect. Don't really need to. It's probably close enough. That's, well, I don't care about being perfect, but I want to be at least make it look like it's supposed to. Might have to change the other one a little bit, sorry. For this. Come on. There we go. All right, let's take this up to here, and let's take this up to here. That's good enough. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. All right, let's do another couple lines, and then we'll be ready to go. So we got one like this, and then we got one like this. Let's put it about right there. That's pretty close. Do you agree? All right, let's put some letters on here. This is U. This is V. And W, X, and Y. All right, here's what the question says. If triangle UVW is congruent to triangle YXW, it says list all the corresponding parts. List the corresponding, I'll shorten corresponding, parts. All right? So what we have to do is we got to find those triangles. UVW. Tell you what, I'll just kind of trace them in red. UVW. So I'll kind of make it a little thicker. UV. So we're talking about this triangle. Okay? And then YXW, this triangle right here. All right, close enough. All right, so that's what we got right there. And it says that they are corresponding. Actually, to tell you the truth, I don't even need that picture because I've got my congruent statement, don't I? Now, we could kind of double check on the picture to see if it works, but let's list all the corresponding parts. Let's do the angles first. Let's list all the corresponding angles. All right, just by this congruent statement. I don't even have to look at the picture. Okay, so angle U equals what? Just by the congruent statement. Angle Y. Ben, you're going to be sitting outside in about 2 seconds. And then what are some other angles? I got angle V, right? What's that angle equal to over here? Angle X. See how easy this is? And that's why it's nice to have your congruent statement written the correct way. This is angle W. And what's going to be over here? Angle W again. Let's just take a look and see if that's really true in this situation. Angle U and Y. So this is angle U, this is angle Y. Do they look like they're in the same place? Yeah. But what did we do to these two triangles? I took that one triangle, and what did I do to get the other one? They're not exactly in the same spot, are they? We kind of had to flip it, didn't we? Didn't we have to flip this? So I took this and I basically, watch my hand. I know it's not a triangle, but I basically did, boom, that. Okay? So this part is over here. Everybody got that? All right. So the U and the Y, they look like they match up. The V and the X, yeah, they look like they match up too, don't they? And then, of course, this angle right here and this angle right here would match up. So if I took one and I flipped it, right, like 180 degrees, and I just flipped it, then that's what it would look like. So that does make sense to us. At least to me it does. Does it to you? Yeah. All right, so now let's talk about the sides. So we did the angles. Let's talk about the sides. We could look at the picture and figure out what side goes with what, but again, it's so important. That's why this congruent statement is so important, because we can just look at this, not even have to look at the picture, and we know which ones match up. So what side do I want to do first on that first triangle? UV. Okay, so UV would equal what over here? YX. All right, let's do another side over here. UW. Let's do UW. All right, so I do the first one and the third one, and so first one and third one here is YW. And then one more, what else do we have? What's that? Yeah, I mean, technically, I should do this. Oops, not there. Technically, I should say these are congruent to each other since we're dealing with triangles, and I should put line segment here. All right, so good. Thanks for that. All right, so what else do we have? What's my other side? VW, right? So VW is congruent to, it's the second and the third, so it's XW. Good. Again, let's just come over here and see if it kind of makes sense on our picture. Okay, UV, where's UV? It's this one right here. And YX, does it look like those two would match up? If I took this one and I flipped it like this, does it look like those two sides would be on top of each other? Yeah. UV and XY or YX. Yeah, it does. Okay, what about the next one? UW. UW is this one, and then YW is this one. Does it look like those two would match up? Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, whatever's left should match up as well. All right, VW and XW. All right, so yeah, it works out. It's not so hard, is it? All right, so when it says list all the corresponding parts, what does that mean? List all the angles that are equal to each other and list all the sides that are equal to each other. We good? All right. Now what they're going to do, they're going to use that same picture. I'll just leave it with all that mess on there. Okay. They're going to use that same picture, and it says, let's go back to white. All right. It says find angle X if the triangles are congruent. All right, so I already said the triangles are congruent. I'm not going to write it down again. Okay, find angle X if angle U is 22 degrees. And angle UWV is 30 degrees. All right. Ben, why don't you go stand outside for a period of time? Seems like you're the cause of all the issues here. Just stand up against the wall across the hallway. Anybody got eyeballs on him? Okay, just let me know if he leaves or anything. Okay. All right, everybody ready? I tell you what, let's do the work in here, because if I push that up anymore, you won't see the picture. I know it's a little sloppy in here with all that stuff. Actually, we probably could get rid of these red things. Okay. Yeah, it's still a little messy, but you get the idea, right? So it says angle U is 22 degrees. So that's this angle right there, 22 degrees. And UWV, where's that? UWV, that's this one right here, is 30 degrees. And the question says, what is angle X? That's this one right here. So how in the world am I going to do that? Look, this is in a completely different triangle than this one is. But what do I know about this angle X and this angle V right here? I know they're equal to each other, right? So really, what am I really doing though? I mean, eventually I'm going to find X, but really what am I doing? I'm finding angle V, aren't I? You see that? Okay, so really I'm finding angle V, because once I find angle V, angle X is the same thing, so I'm good to go. So it should be pretty easy to solve for angle V right here. There's three angles of a triangle. What do three angles of a triangle do? They add up to 180, and I know two of them, right? So I can do it. So here's how I would do it. You could go 180 minus 30 minus 22. Or you could just add these two together. What's 30 plus 22? 52. And then do what to that? You got it. Subtract it from 180. Okay? Or I'll tell you what, let's do it up and down. Might make it a little easier for us. Okay? That's a 7. That's an 8. That's a 2. That's a 1. 128. Does that look right? Yep. So angle V, we actually found angle V, didn't we? But if we find angle V, what do I know about angle X? They're both the same thing. So angle X is also 128, and that is how you do something like that. What do you think? Think you can figure something out like that? I mean, it looks a little confusing at first because you got all these lines and you got these triangles, and they don't look exactly like each other, right? Because one's flipped a little bit, right? We're kind of used to, at least yesterday, the triangles being in the same exact spot, basically, where you could just look at them. But you got to think a little bit, all right? And that congruent statement is super helpful to us. So we're definitely going to use that. That's why I just want to point out how important it is to write the correct congruent statement. Because if I mixed up the letters, then you wouldn't know what are equal to each other, okay? Then you'd be all lost. So having a correct congruent statement is super, super important. Questions on this? All right, I think that finishes section 4.2, all right? So let's see, what is the homework on this? 1 to 14? Okay, so it's section 4.2, and it's 1 to 14, and it's pages, 159 and 160. We're going to have a geometry party? Everybody get together, do their homework? What? That doesn't sound fun to you?
That sounds amazing.
It does sound amazing, doesn't it? All right. I'm just kidding. All right, everybody go to this? All right. We got some time left over. We got 15 minutes. So let's maybe do a couple questions from the homework. What negativity? Am I being negative? I don't know. I'm trying to be positive. All right. Everybody go with this? I'm going to close this out. Then we'll go over some homework. And then hopefully you'll have some time to work on this in class.